On February 13, 2025, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth made it clear that Europe must take responsibility for its own defense without financial or military support from the United States.
But without burden sharing, without creating the right set of incentives for European countries to invest, then we would be forced to attempt to be everywhere for everybody all the time, which in a world of fiscal restraints, and we say this in solidarity, is you have to spend more on your defense, for your country, on that continent, but can't have the expectation of being the permanent guarantor, as I alluded to, from what even Eisenhower observed post-World War II. Or we will abdicate that responsibility to somebody else with all the wrong values exist. And that's why a lot of my first phone calls as Secretary of Defense were to Pacific allies, to Australia, to Japan, to South Korea, to the Philippines, and others. And that deterrent effect in the Pacific is one that really can only be led by the United States.
This announcement marks a strategic shift in U.S. foreign policy as the country pivots its focus from the Atlantic to the Pacific. While Europe has been America's most important ally for the past 80 years, it appears that Washington is losing interest in the region due to its declining economic viability. Currently, Europe allocates only 1.9% of its GDP to defense spending. In contrast, South Korea, a much smaller nation, invests 3.6% of its GDP in defense, while Japan is projected to allocate 1.6%. These figures highlight the heavy reliance of both the EU and Japan on the American security umbrella. However, U.S. President Donald Trump has expressed a strong preference for investing in the Asia-Pacific region while reducing U.S. financial commitments and military presence in Europe. In 2024, Asia contributed approximately 60% of global economic growth and accounted for 51% of the world's total economy. For example, China's economic growth in 2024 was 2.8%, while South Korea recorded 2.0%. In contrast, Germany's economy contracted by 0.2%, France saw a decline of 0.1%, and most other EU nations experienced minimal growth, ranging from 0.3% to 0.5%. Overall, the EU's economic growth was just 0.1% in 2024, contributing only 14% to the global economy. In 2024, the trade volume between the U.S. and the EU amounted to $975.9 billion, while trade between the U.S. and Asia reached $1.24 trillion. Furthermore, when examining the world's top 100 technology companies, the EU is significantly underrepresented. Only 3 companies from the region, originating from France, the Netherlands, and Ireland, are included in the ranking. In comparison, another 3 companies from non-EU nations, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Switzerland, made the list. The overwhelming majority, 94 out of 100, are based in the United States, South Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, and Singapore. Considering these economic trends, it is evident why Donald Trump prioritizes strengthening ties with the Pacific rather than maintaining costly Atlantic relations. The Asia-Pacific region continues to demonstrate economic resilience and technological advancement without relying on financial support from the U.S. As a result, Washington is increasingly shifting its investments toward Asia while reducing commitments to Europe, which has become less profitable and less productive after 80 years of transatlantic cooperation.